Well, the show is more about you than it is about me, where you give your takes, you have your opportunity, I share my platform, you come rebuttal, come debate, come say your piece, whatever the case is. Recently, we've gotten an influx of other people who support other drivers and teams, which has been great. We do definitely allow and appreciate good debate, different perspectives, and I do have some announcements today. I have something that is really big that I'm going to announce, but I can't announce it just yet. Tracking shows that it's on its way, but it's not quite here. It was supposed to be here last night, didn't make it, so I'm hoping that it makes it today. Also, to all my Wolfpack fam, to anybody who wants to meet me, who wants to collab, get together, I will be at COTA, finally locked in. All reservations as of today, flight, rental cars, all the Formula One 3-day pass tickets, the parking pass, which is damn near egregiously, outrageously overpriced. We're going to have an episode on that. Matter of fact, I will do a live on that, because Formula One, we got to talk. I mean, you're a U.S.-based company. Liberty Media owns you. And it just seems like all the high prices are right here in these three GPs that are happening in the United States of America, being Las Vegas, being Florida, which is Miami, and being Texas, the USGP. And it is crazy. But yes, I will be at COTA this season from the 20th through the 21st through the 20th through the 22nd. All right. But I will be there early. So if there's somewhere you're going to be, some welcoming, some party, some Formula One gathering, you want Wolfpack to show up, let me know. Hit me in the DMs, hit me in the comment sections. I will be out there. I'll do my best to do live events as well, as my YouTube family knows. But let's get into some topics right now. That's just one thing I got. Also tonight, we're going to be live for the Wolves Den. All Wolfpack members know what that is. It's an opportunity for you to collaborate. For those who are not in the Discord yet, a link will be posted for you. It is members only. We will have guests. You will be able to ask questions. You will be involved in the conversation. That will also go up on the YouTube and the podcast platform. So please be on your best behavior. Be very structured when you ask your questions. Don't try to do 2- and 3-part questions. Be very valuable. Be very considerate of everybody else's time and your family members being able to ask questions as well. So don't go on a long rant. Ask your question, get an answer. Let's move on so every family member can get time, and we will try to circle back to you again if we can. So we're going to have that tonight, Wolves Den. That link is already posted in the Discord. You hit that link, come in as an audience. Last and final, we will be live this Sunday at 11 a.m. for the race. 11 a.m. will be free practice at 11:30, as sharp as we can. We will start quali and go right into the race. It will be a one-shot quali that has yielded for some very good competition, and that is it for right now. Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing you all race this Sunday and have a good time. Also, we do have a new VIP member. That VIP member will be announced when we come back for our first race, so that they will likely have as many people there to congratulate them as possible. But up until then, let's get into the shit talk. Let's get into it. I'm a little bit, I see everybody pouring up in the chat. Baraka, what's going on? OG Zilla, Blue Diva, Spider R35. What's happening? Listen, I got to talk about this. Why is it so hard just for people to admit when things are easy, they easy? When things aren't as hard as it is, it's okay to say, yo, this season is a wash. Like, I'm finna clean everybody up. Nobody is competition right now. Red Bull are trying to make it look like it's harder than it is. If you all thought Mercedes were sandbagging, you were wrong. Red Bull is truly sandbagging. Not only are they sandbagging in the statements and the radio messages that they send across the airwaves for us to see on our television, but they're sandbagging literally with their car. The RB19 has yet to be pushed to the point of stress mode, okay? And Max Verstappen, I need you to stop capping. Your name rhymes with capping. Stop capping, bro. For you to try to sit up here and say it's not as easy, record break. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it, all right? We're going to take a look at this. Max Verstappen says this, all right? It doesn't come easy, Max Verstappen, on pressure, breaking records, and the search for perfection. Max, stop capping. And people out there, stop trying to enable this capping. It's okay if you're a Max Verstappen fan. It's okay if you're a Red Bull fan, but you don't have to cap. It is easy. Why is it easy? What, Wolfpack, why are you saying it's easy? What do you have to show us that it's easy? Let me show you what I got to show you that is easy, okay? And then we can get into it. Is this not also Max Verstappen Is this not him? I think this is him. I could also push on and we do another stop, a little bit of pit stop training. If that does not tell you that it's easy, please try to tell me why not. He said that while in a race. 10 laps to go, as a matter of fact. So 10 laps to go. Only 10 laps left in a race. Okay? Only 10 laps left in a race. The most critical time where you don't want an error to happen. The most critical time where you don't want a technical difficulty to happen. The most critical time when you don't want a mechanical failure to happen. And you're going to ask if you can pull into the pits to open the window for any and everything to happen that may ruin your race. Do you want me to stop and go ahead and we do a little pit stop training? That says it's easy. Max has contradicted himself more than one time this season. Wasn't it also Max that said, I wish I wasn't alone at the front. I want some competition. I want a challenge. Then the moment Lewis Hamilton gets pole position and things get a little dicey. Oh, I like racing at the front alone. I like being alone. Now you like being alone. Before you wanted a challenge, now you got a little bit of what seemed to be coming a challenge on the horizon, but not really. And now I like racing alone. Which one's it going to be, Max? You just gotta listen, you gotta stop the capping, bro. It's okay. It's okay that you are running away with the championship. It's okay to admit that. It's okay to admit that it's easy when you're in the fastest car in Formula One right now. Stop lying to us and stop lying to yourself. Oh, Jesus Illa says, been saying this since after the first race. In my opinion, Red Bull has so much of an aero advantage, they will cover any horsepower deficiencies from their Ford engine in 2026. Whoa. I'm gonna say this. OG Zilla, you have been saying that. And I'm going to say this. If Ford does what they typically do, which you all know why there's an oval, circle-like oval around Ford, right? Because they're telling you that's where the problem is. Ford found on road dead. Ford fix or repair daily. I know first on race day, but that ain't very often. I do not believe that by time 2026 comes, the removal of the MGUH, a new Ford, a new power unit manufacturer supplying Red Bull, I think that's where they're going to stumble. If they stumble anywhere, that is where they're going to stumble. I believe they stumble then. I do not think that the aero package will overcome, if not for long, maybe after some races, maybe they get it together. But I do not think initially the aero package will overcome or be enough to replace the deficiency of a power unit that may be unreliable, a power unit that may not yield power the way they need it, a power unit that may overheat more often than not. I don't think Red Bull overcome that initially in the first part of the season. Maybe mid to latter part, but not initially. But you could be right. You've been pretty accurate thus far, OG Zilla, so I'm going to give it to you. You could very well be right, all right? But I do think they meet some challenges, and I've highlighted those challenges before when I spoke about it. But Max Verstappen said this over the radio waves. Let's do pit stop training with only 10 laps left to go. You don't offer to do pit stop training if it's not that easy. You don't offer to sacrifice the opportunity of finishing a race 10 laps out if it's not easy. Nobody takes that gamble if they don't feel it's easy. It's evidently clear that Max Verstappen feels that this is easy. So I need people to stop capping. I need Max to stop capping what is not easy. I don't want to hear any more capping radio messages about it's windy, I have to hold the steering wheel tight. Stop all the cap, bro. You're in the fastest car in Formula One. You don't need to cap about this. Nobody else is winning a race. You can be honest about that. You don't offer to pull into the pits and risk your race if it's not easy. Christian Horner, we know Perez is not going to make it to be a championship. You can stop doubling down, tripling down on Perez about that. You're really going overboard with the bullshit on trying to shade Perez. Perez, if you sign another contract with Red Bull, I'm telling your ass right now, I'm giving you all the smoke next season. Yes, I will be upstairs and I will take care of that booty later. All right. So listen, that's what I'm saying, y'all. It's not going to happen. Okay. So let's look at another message. Let's look at another portion of something that's come across, the news of Formula One out here. Let's check this out as well. So at ease is he with the Red Bull RB19, arguably the greatest Formula One car to have ever been created. He's winning races without pushing the machine to its absolute limit and has the capacity to engage in teasing and banter with his race engineer, GP. Lambias while cruising around the front. Is that not true? Is this not true? This is true, right? It's true. So listen, don't try to sell it to me. I'm not buying it. Max Verstappen is a very good driver, and a very good driver in the most dominant car ever in Formula One history. He is doing what he is supposed to do. What he is not supposed to do is lie to us. Not supposed to do that. Matter of fact, I'm going to say this. I'm going out on a limb. I'm going to say this. Was it not? I think it was. And if it wasn't, you all can correct me. Was it not Alonso who said that Lewis Hamilton's wins and his championships are not as valuable as the championships that Max Verstappen has? That's what Alonso said, right? Alonso, you look like a damn donkey. You look like a jackass. Don't buy too much in what Alonso says. That's the same guy that in Canada told you all this was the last time he would be without a podium. And since then, he's done nothing but get further away from podiums. Don't buy what Alonso's selling. If there's anybody's championships that are going to be less valued, it is going to be the championships that have been collected by Max Verstappen for breaching the cost cap and therefore gaining an advantage over your peers by overspending in that car. For somebody who is in the most dominant car right now that I can say safely in Formula One history, winning races, your championships, if anybody's championships, should be less valuable than other championships. Baraka is saying, what my brother saying? Baraka, Ford, Red Bull power unit, Mike Cook. Red Bull does have the Honda IP. Yes, that's true, right? That's why I think, honestly, it's possible that they're not going to even be a Ford. It's just going to be an overbadged. It's going to be a Ford badged Honda power unit. So they have solid foundation. True. Ford is more branding than actual developing the engine, in my opinion. I'm fully with you, Baraka. I fully am with you. I fully believe that the intellectual property that Red Bull have had the luxury of studying, getting to know, that is exactly what it's going to be. It is going to be a Ford badged Honda power unit. I said this from the beginning. Ford coming in, are they going to be fully responsible of developing a power unit, or are they going to take that oval Ford badge and put it on a Honda built power unit? I said this, and that was my concern. And if that is the case, then they likely will still have a leg up. It seems like to me that breaching the cost cap is definitely and has proved worth it for Red Bull. Since they've breached and spent $2+ million in development, whatever you want to say. You want to say it was catering? Okay. I won't buy it, but I'll laugh at it. 083 says, what's up, Wolfpack family? What's going on, bro? You know we up in here kicking it, talking the real niche nit that people don't want to talk about. We keeping it real. We keeping it all the way 100. Whether you want to admit it or not, feel free to say what you want to say. But I do believe, Baraka, I and you share that same opinion. I do not think it's going to be a genuine built Ford power unit. I'd be very surprised if that's the case. If they supply a real Ford built power unit versus it being a power unit built based off all of Honda's IP during the time that Honda and Red Bull have spent together, I'd be surprised. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think Ford are even that gun-ho and got enough balls to come into Formula One with a Ford built power unit. I just don't. They weren't even successful until they came in with Cosworth. Ford was trash. I didn't want to say it. They were trash. So let's look at something else. Because I don't think Toto was lying when he said that. He's not lying when he said it. It absolutely is, to me, in my opinion, across several eras, I don't think we've seen a car that was built this dominant in Formula One history. You can go to some of the Williams cars built. You can probably go to some of the Ferraris. I don't think you're going to see consistently on average the amount of gap that an RB19 has been able to create with a driver like Max Verstappen behind the wheel in Formula One. Okay. And yes, Max Verstappen gets credit for driving that car the way he drives it. It is very suiting to his driving style, and that makes a difference. So let's check this out. Let's look at this. Horner admits championship challenge likely out of reach for Perez in 2023. You don't say. You don't say, Horner. I just got to ask, Perez, bro, if you really want to prove to yourself that you can one day be a champion, you're going to have to leave Red Bull. They're not going to support it. Horner really doesn't support you. Why do I say this? It's not because I'm biased. It's not because I'm hating. It's only because I hear the tone in which Horner creates or puts out or projects when he congratulates so-called Perez for winning a race. It's only the remarks and the statements that Horner then turns around to the damn radio to Max and says, he just got lucky, safety car. You don't say these type of things about either or driver when you are equally supporting them. You may not treat them the same because they're not the same people, but you support them equally, and they do not. Horner, there was no reason for you to say this again. You had already said prior to this that Perez can feel free to be the driver that he is now that the championship is out of reach. Now that Max has put this amount of gap on him in the championship standings. You don't need to keep saying these things to shade, to throw negative comments, negative shade, to do anything else to Perez. But the fact that you choose to keep doing that tells me you don't support Perez equally. You don't care for Perez equally. All right? Helmut Marko either. And guess what? I'm gonna say this. It's okay sometimes. It's okay. It happens, right? In sports, it happens. The stars get preferential treatment. This just happens. Galacticus, in 26 without MGUH, Ford may have to build power unit. That's also true. That's also a good point. Without the MGUH, it's got to be, that's different configuration. That's different statutes, right? So they still might run into some issues, as well as other Formula One teams. Very true. So when I see this come out again about Horner, you already said this. You already admitted this. Why during the break, when people are supposed to be relaxing, taking a little sit back, but not really, still working toward the next race that's going to be coming, why do you feel the need to, again, dump on your other driver in Sergio Checo, Minister of Defense, Perez? It's unnecessary. And when you do things like this, it speaks to your character, the type of person that you are, the type of person that I've been telling many others that you are, is a shady, underhanded, bring a bazooka to a knife fight type person. And it's all good when you're doing competing. But this right here is starting to get a little bit on the lines of personal. If I'm Perez, I'm coming to you saying, bro, why do you keep saying this shit? What is the point of you coming out saying this? We all know this. So either you got some respect for me as your driver in the other car, or you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't have to keep going out making these comments. You already said before, I can feel free to race to the public now that the gap is so big or large between me and Max Verstappen. That was enough. I could let that slide. But now you're coming back again, tripling down on this. Perez, I'm telling it just like that. I'm going at it just like that. But yes, is it wrong that Max gets preferential treatment? No, he's the star. He's the champion in that garage, in that team. That's going to happen. But still, the other driver should be treated with respect, integrity, given fair opportunity to compete still, which I don't believe happens. And then we got this other question. I know many of us have wondered this. Is Perez in the same car? We're going to ask that question tonight when we go into the Wolves Den? I'm going to ask that question to our guests. We're going to talk about F1 Academy tonight with our guests. We're going to talk about the season moving forward and what do they think may happen next season with our guest. Okay, and you're going to get to ask those questions. So all Wolfpack fam, get your pads ready. Start writing out your questions. We will go live 7 p.m. 1900 Eastern Standard Time. All right. They will be joining us from the other side of the world. So we should have a pretty good damn time. And it is a closed group to Wolfpack family members only. It then also will be posted the following day on YouTube. Okay. So I'm looking to have it posted for everybody to view Saturday. So please be on your game. Ask your questions nice and tactfully. Try not to double up on your questions. Okay. And let's have a good time with our guests. We're going to try to keep it within an hour. And when I say this person has the last question, they got the last question. If I say that, don't come back saying, yo, Jay, let me get one. No, when I say this person's got the last question, because I got to be respectful of our guest time and my time, that's it. We done with it. Okay, we're going to try to get everybody in and get down as many as we can. So make sure you raise your hand in the group so your hand can be raised. The moderators are going to help me kind of make sure I get everybody in line and in priority, and we're going to go on from that. But the main point of this is Max Verstappen's capping. Red Bull indeed have the fastest car probably to me in Formula One history. Max is a good driver, but he's a good driver piloting one of the greatest cars made, and that indeed is yielding great results. You don't have to lie about that. If you want to try to say Max is not lying, it's not easy, you're lying, because if you got a radio message with only 10 laps left to go in a race, you don't risk unnecessary DNFs or anything to faultily happen. If he had pulled in, I would have loved it. I would have loved it if Max Verstappen went in for a pit stop training with 10 laps out from the race and a damn nut would have got shaved off and damn near binded up everything. I would have loved it, because you kicked your own self in the ass. You spit in the wind and clobbered yourself by doing something so damn gutsy and so damn ballsy and so damn ornery and so damn ridiculous that if it had fell and whipped you in the face, I would have absolutely loved it. I'm just saying, I would have absolutely loved it. I would have had no issue at all with that. None of just saying. So yeah, I'm all good with it. I'm all good with it. It is what it is. And I would have been absolutely cool with that happening. So yeah, it is what it is. We're going to get out of here. I will see you all later on this evening. I'm out. Peace. Thanks for watching another episode of Wolfpack Performance. Don't forget to check out some of my other content on Formula One and motorsports topics. Like, share, subscribe, and we go live on the weekends. See you soon.